We helped this cash physical therapy practice generate $20,000 in just 90 days and helped this other practice triple their practice monthly visits from 120 to 360 visits using a simple Facebook ad lead generation campaign. Today I'll be showing you step by step how to set up this exact framework so you can start getting your own consistent flow of new patients contacting your business. Facebook ads are the best and easiest way for cash physical therapists to gain consistency and full control over their schedule and reduce reliance on word of mouth, workshops, and other hustle styles of advertising. But there are a ton of charlatans out there, and it's almost impossible to know who it is that you can actually trust. As a cash practice owner myself and someone who's dedicated the last 10 years of their life to mastering digital marketing for physical therapy, I recommend learning how to run Facebook ads yourself in-house and only delegating your ads once you already have a system that is sustainable, that is repeatable, that you can hand off to somebody else. This way, you're never actually relying on someone else to grow your practice. You are in full control. The truth is, running your own Facebook ads in-house is extremely easy to learn and to manage. You just need someone to show you how. Today, I'll be teaching you step by step the easiest way to generate physical therapy patients online using Facebook lead generation ads. I'll also talk you through some of the benefits of using them and some of the best practices to help you get started. So if you want to learn how to generate patients using Facebook lead generation ads, just keep watching this video. What's up, you guys? My name is Jordan Mather. I'm the co-founder of Clinical Marketer, where we teach cash physical therapists how to work smarter, not harder, by following the exact processes that we've used to grow our own practices to over $1 million per year without accepting any insurance. Before we get into today's video, please go ahead and like this video for me. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell so that you never miss any of the new marketing and sales training that we release for cash physical therapists every single week. If you're a physical therapy practice owner looking to get started with Facebook ads, which if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you are, you're likely trying to ramp up your caseload quickly, reduce reliance on word of mouth and referrals, gain consistency and predictability in your patient flow, or you're just trying to fill a new hire schedule. In any case, this is where Facebook can help with its 2.8 billion monthly active users and its campaigns literally optimized for generating highly targeted leads almost on autopilot. Now, when I say optimized for lead generation, I mean the campaigns are literally designed on the back end of Facebook to deliver ads to people who are most likely to opt in based off of your targeting criteria and what Facebook knows about them and their online behavior patterns to date. Before we keep going, I do have a little disclaimer. Facebook lead ads are amazing for getting started with Facebook ads, and they can be extremely profitable, but we very rarely ever use them ourselves within our own practice. With lead generation ads, Facebook prompts you to create a lead form within Facebook so people can give you their information without ever actually having to leave Facebook. Their information is even auto-populated using their Facebook login information, creating fewer steps, making it easier for prospects to opt into your business who relate with the message and offer that you've presented to them. This is why you can get a ton of leads very, very quickly using lead generation ads, but the quality can sometimes be a little bit lower. Although we've seen massively profitable lead generation ads, we do prefer to use a conversion campaign method. With these, we send traffic from your ads to an external landing page or a website that you've built and then track how many of those leads actually convert using the forms on those pages. With having to deal with landing pages and opt-in forms, these campaigns are more complex, but we do see them produce consistently higher quality leads, more likely to actually purchase a cash package. But don't get me wrong, lead generation ads are still a great way for cash practices to get started with learning Facebook ads and can easily add another 5 to 10 new patients per month using this method. Today, I'll be teaching you how to build the exact lead generation campaign that has added tens of thousands of dollars to our clients, and the same campaign that most physical therapy advertising agencies are actually using and charging their clients thousands of dollars a month for. So it does pay to know how to build this stuff yourself. Let's quickly talk about the benefits of lead generation campaigns. Number one, the lead form is native to Facebook, meaning people don't have to leave Facebook to actually opt into your stuff. This also means that they don't have to wait a few seconds for a page to load for them to be able to opt in. Now, Facebook doesn't want their users to actually leave Facebook, so they do incentivize us to keep their users on there, and they reward us by giving us a cheaper cost per lead, which means we're able to get more people opting into our pages, giving us more leads and more opportunities to close and book more patients. Number two, they are the fastest way to discover what works within your market. Facebook generation ads are generally much cheaper than conversion style campaigns, which means that we're able to get leads much faster. This also means that we're able to test different audiences, different messages, different offers on our local market and find out which ones are going to be the most profitable ones to focus on before ever having to build out any fancy landing pages or funnels. But once you do land on a specific audience message and offer that converts profitably, I would recommend building out a landing page and converting your lead generation ads to conversion style ad campaigns. Now with that being said, let's move into the screen sharing portion of this training. I'll show you how to build a patient getting lead generation campaign on Facebook. Actually, real quick, if you're one of those people that don't want to go through the learning phases of mastering your own in-house Facebook ads and want to skip straight to the stuff that generates the most consistent and profitable and highest quality patients, click the link in this video where you will have a chance to see how we help people learn the conversion style method of Facebook ads that we've helped our clients generate over $1.6 million using over the last 12 months. If that's interesting to you and you want to figure out what works the best on Facebook ads to generate cash paying patients, click the link at the bottom in the description of this video and see how we can help you learn this stuff faster and with better results. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is to go to Ads Manager by going to business.facebook.com/Ads Manager. If you don't have one, you will need to create one. If you'd like me to show you how to create one, just let me know in the comments below and I'd be happy to make a video for it. But if you already have one, what we're going to do is hit the green Create button, and then we're going to choose the lead generation campaign objective. For this sake of example, I'm going to do a sciatica ad example, and then from there we're just going to hit continue. So now that you've created your lead generation campaign, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to turn on campaign budget optimization. I'm not going to go into great detail on some of the settings that we're going to turn on for this lead generation campaign, but if you are interested in what components you need to make sure that you have on to make sure that your ads are as profitable as possible, make sure to check out this video right here where I outline the 5 biggest reasons and things that you need to do to make your Facebook ads profitable and generate the right types of patients for your practice. Now, once you have campaign budget optimization turned on, you want to set your daily budget. Now, most people get this completely wrong and feel like they never got great results from Facebook, but the reality was they just weren't spending enough money. If on average it takes $30 to generate a quality lead from Facebook, and you're only spending $5 a day, it's going to feel like Facebook's not really doing anything, you're not really getting any results. To spend enough to actually make it worth your while, I recommend spending $50 a day, and following this system, generally we're seeing about a 5 to 8x return on this style of campaign at this budget level. Once you have your budget set, the next thing to do is just hit next. Now we have our campaign created. Now it's time to actually set up all the targeting details for this particular campaign. Now when you first get in here, you'll see that we have several lead methods. We have instant forms, automated chat, and calls. We've tested all of these. We found that instant forms are by far the most profitable using this style of ad. Automated chats generated a lot of conversations, but they never really seem to go anywhere, and calls just seem to be too early in the process for a lot of these people. Lead generation ads are very top of the funnel, and a lot of these people might not feel comfortable talking with you on the phone yet. We want an opportunity to build a relationship through email. We want to give them a chance to learn more about us, to schedule their own appointment to chat with us. So instant forms is the best way to quickly collect the information so that we can later remarket to them if they're not quite ready to work with us. So for this video, we're going to stick with instant forms. Next, you want to make sure that you select the correct business page that you want to be showing ads from. From there, we want to turn on dynamic creative. This is one of those features I'm not going to go into great detail for this particular training video, but it is very important. It's going to help Facebook show your ads to the right people with the right configuration between headlines, images, and texts. And so this is just going to save us a ton of trouble in split testing down the road by just letting Facebook do it for us. You'll find that we can also set budget and schedule limits. We like to leave this wide open. We want our ads to run forever as long as they are profitable. But if you're just running an experiment and just want to run ads for 30 days and make sure that they are turned off, you can very easily set the start and end date to make sure that you don't forget about it and you're not spending money on campaigns you don't want to be spending on. The next thing that we want to do is actually set the location. And you'll find that we can set people living in this location or people living in or recently in this location. We typically use this option just because we live in the Midwest. A lot of our clients aren't in massive big cities, and so it's okay to catch people commuting on their way to work. If you are in places like New York or San Diego, it might make more sense to choose people living in this location because you find that a lot of people opt in might actually live far away and they're not going to make the drive all the way to the clinic. So if you're in a very populated area where people commute pretty far, you might want to choose people living in this location, making it more likely that they'll get on the schedule and come in for repeat visits. And so once you have people living in this location or people living in or around this location, now we want to actually put in our clinic's address. So I'm going to choose our Scottsdale location here, and I'm going to put a 10-mile radius around this marker. Now, if you're in a very busy city, maybe you want to start off with a 5-mile radius because maybe there's just too much traffic, they're not going to travel that far. And so be thoughtful about this. Usually 10-mile radius around the practice is the general rule of thumb to start out for targeting. So that's where I'd recommend unless you're in a very big city. The next thing we want to do is set our age and gender demographics. Now, since we're targeting sciatica, we have found that the best bang for our buck and the best people that convert are between the ages of 40 and 60. So we're going to set this up, but keep in mind that this does change based on who you're targeting. For cash physical therapy, the safest bet that you can do is ages between 30 and 55. We found that that is the biggest population of people willing to pay cash. So more often than not, you're going to fall between those areas. I wouldn't recommend targeting anything 65 and up just because you get a lot of people who are very click happy. They love to opt in, but they don't necessarily remember that they did it all the time. And so we like to stay beneath 60 at least. And so women, we have found to convert the best, but you are going to want to do your own research as you're running these campaigns. Remember, marketing is a data collection game. It's not about being a creative genius. It's about throwing stuff against the wall, seeing what works, and pivoting and optimizing from there. So you might want to start out with all and just figure out which people are opting in more often at a more reasonable cost. We also have options to set languages that we want to focus our targeting around. So if you're living in Texas, for example, where there's a lot of Spanish speakers, you might want to narrow down this ad campaign to only focus on people who speak English as a primary language, just to make sure that we don't have a lot of people that, if you don't offer Spanish speaking services, then you want to make sure that you're only targeting the English speakers. Then from there, we want to turn on automatic placement. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into detail on why you do this, but if you do choose this, Facebook is going to be able to optimize much more efficiently. It's going to be able to find which placements on Facebook, and there are a lot of them, are going to give you the best bang for your buck and show your ads in places where people are most likely to convert into long-term patients. And so once we are in, we have our campaign created, we've created our targeting, and now we're creating our ad here. And so we want to make sure that, one, we've selected the right Facebook page, and two, if you have an Instagram connected to that business page, you can connect it right here so we are able to advertise on both Facebook and Instagram. So once you have your Facebook page and your Instagram account connected, the next thing we need to do is actually start putting together the components of our ad, like the images, the headlines, and the description text. And so the first thing that we're going to do is add in our ad creatives. And so we have this really cool tool that you can use that is actually going to pull images and videos from our website that can be used for ad creatives. And so I'm going to put in our website just to show you how it works. Okay, and then that'll pull in all the assets on our website. But I'm also going to choose the two images that we already have proven that work extremely well for marketing sciatica. Okay, so now Facebook is going to split test these two images. I recommend always split testing at least 3 images every time you run a campaign, and for best results, I would upload a new image every single week to give Facebook more ammo to start testing to figure out what's going to work the best within your community. Now, once those are uploaded, next we have to add in our primary text, our headlines, our descriptions, and the display link, and start putting in our calls to action. So I'm going to go over here to where we have all this stuff already proven to work, listed out, and start copying this stuff in. Okay, but you can add in a lot of different options. So I recommend split testing as much as you can, especially if you're going to follow my recommendations and spend $50 a day on your ads. Okay, now that we have our headlines in, let's put in our primary text. I'm going to go back to my document. I'm going to grab all of this text. And now we have 3 different what we call relatability questions that's going to start off the ad to really hook people's attention into them reading the entire offer that we have. And so we're going to have 3 different variations of this primary text using each of these relatability questions to start it off with. So I'm going to grab the first one, put this in here, space, paste the rest in. Very good. So now I'm going to create another variation. Put this in here, but I'm going to swap out the relatability statement so we can really test what stuff is going to work the best for us and give Facebook as much ammo as humanly possible to test on our behalf. Oh. This is down here. Grab the third relatability question. And just like that, we have 3 different body texts that Facebook is going to split test with these 2 different image variations, as well as these 3 different headlines, giving us multitudes of ad variations that Facebook is going to mix and match to find out which one of these is going to be the most profitable for our business. So the last component that we need for our ads is the actual call to action button. Now there's a lot of different options on here, but I found Learn More tends to work the best. You can split test a lot of these different things depending on what it is you're advertising, but I like to use Learn More as just a simple, non-invasive, not threatening or salesy way for people to just click your ad to learn more about what's on the other side. So once all of that is done, you have your headlines, you have your body text, you have your images, and you have your call to action, the last thing that we have to do is to create our instant form. The thing that people are actually going to be submitting their name, email, and phone number, so to give us an opportunity to follow up with them to get them scheduled within our practice. To do that, all we have to do is hit create form. Now we just have to name our form. And so once you create this and once you hit publish, you won't be able to edit this. So it's important to have an easy to understand syntax when naming your title. So I like to use the month, year, and what the ad is actually going to. Sciatica ads. Okay? The next thing is choosing a background for this image. If you don't upload your own image, it will just choose whichever image was used in the creative for that ad to give it what's called AdSend to make sure that that person knows they're in the right place, they clicked on the right thing. I would leave this blank and just use whatever ad creative was showing when that person clicked on your ad. The next, let's add in our headlines. And so the headlines that we found work the best, I'm going to be placing in here, so feel free to copy them. All right, and then for the description, we basically just list out what is all included in this particular offer, where we give a full breakdown right here. All right, so once you put in the offer details, the headline, and the description, now you want to actually put in the questions that you need them to fill out in order to opt in. And so we're going to put in a brief description showing them, what this is actually for. We're also going to add in their phone number, because the more questions you have, the more intent they have, because they actually went through the steps of filling that out. And so we just want to have their email, their full name, and their phone number. From there, we are going to need to put in a privacy policy. And so for this, we just need to link to our actual website. And so from here, we'll just put in your website. So for us, it's scottsdaleperformance.com. And then we'll call this our privacy policy. You should have one of these on your page. Just go to your website and find wherever your privacy policy is and put that right there. You will not be able to run these ads without it. So make sure that you have those on there. And so once you've set your privacy policy, you have that link, the last thing we need to do is actually to have a thank you offer or some sort of thing telling them what the next step is once they actually opt in. And so what we put is additional instructions on what they need to do to actually claim the thing that they just opted in for, or give them any sort of incentive to call and schedule the clinic right away. And so for us, appointments are redeemed on a first call basis. Call us now to secure your spot by clicking below. And so we do have a couple call to action buttons. You could choose to send them to your website. You could choose to send them to a specific download link, maybe a guide or something. We like to choose call to business. Okay, so we'll say call now, and we'll put in whatever your clinic's phone number is. Once your phone number and your call now, call to action button is all set up, the last thing you need to do is to hit publish. Now keep in mind, when you do publish this, you will not be able to go back and edit this form. In order to edit it or make any changes, you will have to create an entirely new form. So for now, I'm just gonna hit save as draft. And that's it. You've just built your first lead generation Facebook ads. This campaign that I built for sciatica has worked for dozens and dozens of practices. I definitely recommend you try it, but I do also recommend that you test it and split test this sciatica campaign against a shoulder campaign, a runner campaign, whatever other niches that you want to work with. We always like to test at least 3 different avatars in any single campaign to let Facebook kind of find out which patient population is going to be the most fruitful and the lowest hanging fruit for our practice. And so once you have all of those pieces done, you are set, you're ready to publish it and start running your first Facebook ads. Now to access all of your leads' contact information, what you're going to need to do is go to the campaign that you're running, and you want to get to the actual ads level of the campaign. As you can see, we were just in the campaigns level. Now we're in the ad sets level where we set up the targeting. We need to get to the ads level. So let's click the campaign that we're going after. And you can see where we have results, where it lists out all the leads. There's a button to actually download all the leads that came through. Now this isn't a very effective way because we want to be able to follow up with leads within 15 minutes of them opting into our ads. And so if we do it this way and we don't integrate our Facebook ads with something like ActiveCampaign or some other CRM, it's going to be kind of frustrating to have to go in here multiple times a day to download this list just to follow up with leads. But by clicking this button, you will download a sheet where you can start following up with them through email or through text. What I do recommend is that you find a CRM where you can automatically pull in all of the leads that were generated so that one, your team can get notified right away so that they can follow up. You can enter them into other email campaigns or texting campaigns that you have, making it as likely as possible that they're going to convert. Now, if you want a free 30-day trial of our software that already has all of our email, text, and text follow-ups, all of our systems for converting and managing and tracking all of these leads, click the link inside of the description of this video called Clinical Marketer Hub, where you can start to explore what systems we're using to track all of our Facebook ad success and what we're doing to follow up with them to make sure that every single lead turns into a cash paying patient. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video learning how to launch your own in-house lead generation ads for your cash physical therapy practice. Don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so that you get alerted whenever we launch a new marketing or sales training for cash practices every single week. Now, if you guys want to learn more about how to run highly profitable Facebook ads that generate cash paying patients, make sure to hit the link in the description beneath this video to learn more about how you can learn more advanced and highly profitable strategies to help grow and scale your cash practice.